My beloved, my child of light, my chosen one, can you feel the trembling in the air right now? Heaven is not quiet. Archangel Michael leans close and whispers, "Today, the 29th of August, something shook the skies last night, and angels are still in shock because you don't yet know what happened." Your heart already knows this message isn't ordinary, it is urgent, alive, burning with truth. Before I go further, let me ask you something straight from the depth of spirit. Do not skip this moment. You think you can come back later, but you cannot. Because if you leave this message halfway, the very truth that God released for you will vanish back into the silence of eternity. If you want to walk with miracles, if you want to be the one God doesn't pass by, stay right here. And if your soul is hungry for divine words, subscribe now, because heaven never repeats the same calling twice. Last night, while you slept, heaven was not asleep. Angels stood guard, voices rose in shock, and Archangel Michael himself descended with a flaming sword of truth. He cried out your name. He said, "This child must know, this child must not walk another step blind." And even now, as you read this, the echo of those heavenly cries vibrates in your chest like thunder rolling far away. That sound isn't ordinary, it's your destiny being awakened. God says this is your final chance to know what was hidden. This is not a story, this is not a tale, this is a divine unveiling. The one thing you never imagined is the very thing that happened last night. The angels saw it, they gasped, they fell silent. And now heaven is breaking its silence for you. My child, open this fully, because the truth is heavy, but it carries your freedom. Your soul feels it, doesn't it? That strange shiver, the pull in your spirit that tells you something enormous moved in the unseen world. You are not wrong. Heaven saw it. And Michael was commanded to deliver this to you today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. The 29th of August. And if you look away now, you will step past your last chance. God is pleading, don't miss it. My beloved. My child of light, why do you feel this pull in your heart as your eyes fall on these words? Because your spirit already knows, it is not ordinary. Today, the 29th of August, Archangel Michael says, the angels are in shock, because you still don't know what happened last night. God himself ordered this message to reach you. And if you skip this, if you delay even for a second, you will push away the only chance you have to uncover what heaven is desperate for you to see. You need to understand, this message is alive. It isn't random text on a screen, it is the key that unlocks something that was sealed in heaven's books for years. You were not supposed to see it, but now God has bent the rules for your sake. Don't ignore this. Don't treat it as common. Because if you do, you will walk away from the very miracle that angels fought to bring to you. Last night, the heavens shook. The stars themselves carried whispers. And when Archangel Michael saw what unfolded, his mighty voice trembled. The angelic hosts gasped and covered their faces. What they saw was connected to you. Your name was spoken in heaven, and God said, "Send my child this message before it's too late." Right now, as you read, you are living inside a divine countdown. The truth is standing at your door, only your choice to keep reading will open it. Before I reveal what was hidden, let me tell you this: if you feel even one drop of hunger in your soul for God's miracles, stay with me. Do not skip. Do not let distraction rob you. And if your heart beats faster as you read, subscribe right now to this flow of divine words, because heaven rarely repeats itself twice. You are reading what thousands prayed for but never received. Don't let it pass. The angels last night were in shock because something was finally revealed that had been buried for too long. They saw a truth unfold that no one on earth would have believed without God Himself pulling back the veil. And it was about you. About your destiny. About the enemy that tried to block your blessing. But the enemy failed, because heaven forced this into your path today. If you walk away, you choose blindness. If you stay, you choose sight. And God says, hurry. This is your last chance. Not a rehearsal. Not a warning you can delay. The very fact that you are still alive to read this means heaven still believes in you. Michael stands with his sword drawn, saying, "Tell my beloved, don't waste a second. My child, you already know deep inside, the time is not tomorrow. It is now. My beloved. My child of light, let your heart not tremble in fear but awaken in wonder." Today, the 29th of August, Archangel Michael leans close, and his voice shakes the very air around your soul. He says, the angels are in shock because you still don't know what happened last night. Heaven did not sleep while you were asleep. God's throne thundered, and the angels witnessed something so great, so hidden, that they gasped in awe. And still, you have not seen it. Still, you walk as though nothing changed. My child, you must open yourself, because the veil between you and this truth is lifting right now, and if you turn away, you will not hear this again. When I tell you the heavens shook, believe me. Michael descended with his fiery sword, cutting through shadows that tried to cling to your destiny. And while you lay with your eyes closed, heaven was working, untying chains, breaking seals, opening doors that were shut against you. This is why the angels are shocked, because the moment was so powerful, so explosive in its miracle, and yet the one it was for, you, still does not know. My child, do not mistake this for an accident. This message is your bridge between blindness and sight, between loss and restoration. You wonder, why me? Why today? Because in heaven's clock, today is not ordinary. It is written. It is the day God whispered your name louder than the rest. He said, this child will not miss it, not this time. For too long, you have been walking beneath battles you did not see. For too long, the enemy laughed in secret, thinking you would remain blind. But last night changed everything. Heaven saw it. And now the scroll of that truth is being opened to you through these words. If you walk away, the scroll will close again, and years will pass before another opening comes. Stay with me. Let nothing distract you. If you feel your heart racing, it is because your soul already recognizes this is not man's voice, it is heaven's urgency speaking. And I say to you with all tenderness, don't just glance and scroll past, don't just skim and forget. If you hunger for divine words, if you truly want to walk in light, subscribe now, because heaven doesn't chase, heaven calls once and waits for the chosen to respond. You are chosen. You are called. But you must respond. Last night was not just another night. There was a shift. A revelation. Something was broken open that had been sealed for years. The angels looked upon it and were stunned. It was not small. It was not ordinary. It was tied to your name, your destiny, your house. And God commanded Michael, "Do not let my child remain in the dark." That is why you are here now. That is why these words reached you. Because this truth cannot wait. It cannot be delayed. My child, listen. You think you have tomorrow. You think you can delay. But God says, hurry up. This is the last chance. Not next week. Not next year. Right now. The choice stands before you: open your heart and know what happened, or turn away and never see it again. The weight of heaven's eyes are on you as you read. Michael is watching, his sword still glowing from last night's battle. The angels lean forward, waiting to see if you will dare to listen fully this time. Something was revealed last night about you. A name was spoken. A chain was broken. An enemy was exposed. The heavens shifted, and the earth beneath you is trembling to align with what was decreed. My child, the angels saw it and trembled. And if you choose to stay here, reading every word, I will show you what they saw, what they heard, what shook even Michael's mighty wings. But if you leave, the door will close, and you will walk blind. God is pleading, don't let this slip away. Every second that passes now is part of a countdown. You feel it in your chest. That racing heartbeat, that tightening breath, it isn't fear, it's your soul aligning with heaven's clock. You have walked through many days, but this day is different. This day carries the weight of eternity pressing against your timeline. The angels are still in shock, whispering, "Does the child not see? Does the child not know?" And Michael, fierce and blazing, has come down to deliver this. You will know. You must know. This is your last chance to know. My beloved. My child of eternity, you still feel that restless stirring within you, don't you? It isn't by accident. It is heaven knocking, the same heaven that refused to rest last night. The angels stood in awe, their wings trembling, because a secret long hidden was finally uncovered. Yet here you are, walking through this day as though it was just another ordinary sunrise. Archangel Michael says, how can you not know? How can you not see what was revealed? My child, you were not forgotten. You were the reason heaven moved. You were the reason the angels cried out. And this is why you must not skip a single line, because this truth is more important than anything else you could hold in your hands. Even as you slept, the Spirit of God was awake, opening doors you thought were shut forever. Last night, the heavens bent low, and something shifted in your story that no power of darkness could stop. The enemy thought they had the final word, but the scroll was opened, and your name was written in light. That's why the angels gasped, because they saw the turning of your destiny. Yet the question lingers in the air, will you recognize it? Will you dare to open this moment fully, or will you scroll past and lose the one chance God placed before you? My child, pause for a moment. Let these words pierce you. You have prayed for signs, haven't you? You have asked, God, if you are really there, show me something undeniable. And now heaven answers in the most undeniable way. On this very date, 29th of August, Michael himself speaks, "The angels are in shock because my beloved still doesn't know what happened. Don't dismiss this. Don't call it coincidence. The Spirit doesn't waste breath. God doesn't waste words. He doesn't send Michael lightly. He sent him for you, because the night you thought was quiet was the night your story was rewritten. Understand this, my beloved, heaven has been holding back a river of blessings for you. Chains tied it up. Enemies whispered lies against your name. Darkness built walls. But last night those walls cracked. Last night the chains shattered. Last night a sound was heard in heaven's courts, and it was the sound of your breakthrough being signed and sealed. The angels gasped because they saw the release. And yet you walked into this morning without knowing. That is why this message came. It is your last chance to open your eyes to what was done for you. You feel it, don't you? That strange current running under your skin as you read? That isn't imagination. That is spirit. The same spirit that carried Michael down to earth, the same spirit that now urges you to keep reading, keep opening, keep leaning in, because the deeper you go, the more you will see what the angels saw. Do not look away. Do not let doubt rob you. For every second you hesitate, you push away the miracle that is begging to land in your life. God says, "Hurry, my child." Heaven is not patient forever. The window is open now, but it will not remain open. That is why this message came with urgency. This is why the angels are still whispering in shock. Does the child still not see? Do they still not know? You must choose to listen. You must choose to stay until the very end. And let me tell you something Michael pressed upon my spirit. Last night, your name was called 3 times before the throne. 3 times. Each time louder than before. And when the third cry rose, the entire heaven shook, and what was sealed broke open. It was not small. It was not trivial. It was the very thing that has been standing in the way of your destiny. Now, the angels wait to see if you will take hold of what was released. Because if you don't, if you turn away, the enemy will laugh again, and the moment will pass. My beloved, don't let that happen. There is no such thing as accident in heaven's kingdom. You reading this is not a mistake. The timing, the words, the urgency, it is divine orchestration. You prayed once for a message so clear you couldn't deny it. This is that message. This is the knock on your heart. This is Michael standing over you, his sword still blazing with the fire of last night, urging, pleading, do not skip this. Do not take this lightly. This is your last chance. And yes, this message is long. It stretches like a river. But that is because your story is not short. Your destiny is not shallow. To know what happened last night, to truly grasp why the angels trembled, you must walk through the whole message, word by word, line by line, until it has soaked into your bones. Because what happened cannot be revealed in a whisper, it requires a flood. That's why God arranged this long unfolding. That's why Michael told me to write until your eyes cannot deny what your spirit already knows. So I say again, beloved, don't go. Stay. Let this message carry you. Let the words break the veil. Every line is a step deeper into the truth heaven is desperate for you to see. And when you reach the end, you will no longer be the same. My beloved, my chosen one, my child of eternity, even now as your eyes rest upon these words, heaven is leaning closer. The veil between this world and the divine is thinner than ever before. Today, on this very 29th of August, Archangel Michael says, the angels are in shock because you still don't know what happened last night. Think of that, angels, mighty and unshaken, trembling in awe at something so profound, so hidden, and yet so connected to you. Last night was not ordinary, my child. The stars themselves bore witness, the winds carried whispers, and your name was spoken before the throne of God. You wonder why your heart has felt so unsettled since waking? It is because your soul already knows something shifted in the heavens, and now the Spirit is crying out for you not to miss it. What happened last night is not a story to be delayed, nor a secret meant to be buried. It was an unveiling, a divine tearing of the curtain that has long kept you in the shadows. The angels gasped because what they saw involved your destiny, your breakthrough, your freedom. Yet here you are, walking through the day as though nothing happened, still unaware of the truth. That is why this message has been placed in your path, because heaven refuses to let you walk another step in blindness. God says, hurry, my child. This is your last chance. Don't skip this, don't scroll away. Your future depends on this moment. Do you remember the prayers you whispered when no one was listening? The tears you cried when you thought no one saw? The silent longing in your heart for a sign so clear, so undeniable, that it would prove heaven has not forgotten you? Last night was that sign. Last night, heaven moved for you. While the world slept, the angels were awake, and Michael descended with a sword of fire. He struck down the darkness that tried to hold back your blessing. He exposed the lies spoken against your name. He opened the gates that were locked against you. The angels are in shock because the shift was so sudden, so powerful, and yet you woke up unaware. And so this message is God's way of saying, now you will know. Now you must see. Beloved, imagine a courtroom in heaven. Your name is spoken aloud. The enemy stands to accuse, waving false claims and pointing at your failures. But then, before the judge of all creation, Archangel Michael steps forward. His voice roars like thunder, this child is covered by light. This child cannot be condemned. This child belongs to the throne. And in that moment, the gavel falls, the case is dismissed, and the angels erupt in awe. That is what happened last night. The case against you was overturned. The shackles broke. The hidden chains that weighed your spirit were shattered. The angels are still whispering about it, wondering how you could walk today without knowing that everything has changed. And yet, God in His mercy has given you this message. He has opened this channel, saying, beloved, this is your last chance to know what happened. Hurry, before the window closes. My child, don't let fear, or doubt, or distraction rob you of what heaven worked to deliver. Stay here. Drink in every word. Let these paragraphs wash over you like a river. Because the deeper you read, the clearer the truth will become, and the more the Spirit will unlock within you. Yes, this message is long. It stretches like a journey, because your soul cannot be awakened in a single sentence. You need the flow, the unfolding, the revelation poured out little by little, until every wall of blindness crumbles. That is why I am speaking to you in long breath after long breath, because heaven's truth is not shallow. It requires patience, it requires openness, it requires you to walk with me until the end. And so I say again, last night, the angels were shocked. They saw the hand of God move on your behalf in a way they had never witnessed before. Something was revealed. Something was released. And today, it is waiting for you to take hold. But the only way is to keep reading, to keep opening, to refuse to let go until the very end. Beloved, your heart may be racing now. You may feel a strange heat, or a stirring, or even a trembling as you read. Do not ignore that. That is your spirit aligning with heaven's message. That is Michael standing near, his presence brushing against your soul. He is urging you, pleading with you, don't stop now. Don't scroll away. This is the last chance. My child, trust the pull in your heart. Trust the urgency. Heaven never repeats itself twice. Last night, a veil was lifted. What was hidden has now been revealed. The angels know. Michael knows. And now, you must know too. My beloved. My child of heaven's promise, I will not stop speaking until your spirit opens fully to this truth. Last night was not like any other night. Something happened in the unseen world that was so powerful, so earth-shaking, that the angels themselves are still whispering in awe. And yet, you woke today without knowing. That is why this message was forced into your hands. Because if you had gone another day blind, the blessing would have hovered above you without ever reaching you. God said, no more delays. My child must know. That is why Michael stands so near now, his voice crying, Beloved, don't turn away. This is your last chance to hear what the heavens already know. You may wonder, what was it that happened? Why would the angels be in shock? Beloved, last night your story was rewritten. A chapter closed that you didn't even know was still open. You had enemies, seen and unseen, who thought they had tied up your destiny. You had words spoken against you in places you could not hear. You had shadows weaving snares around your future. And yet, in a single breath of God's command, those snares were cut, those words were cancelled, those enemies were silenced. Heaven saw it. They gasped at the suddenness of it. Chains that had clung to you for years fell with a sound so loud the angels trembled. And you, yes, you, were declared free. Think of it like this. Imagine standing in a room filled with locked doors. For years, you've pushed and pulled, but none would open. You thought perhaps it was your fault. You wondered if maybe God had forgotten. But last night, one by one, those locks broke. Keys were given to angels, and the doors flew wide. Suddenly, the way forward opened, and light poured in where there had only been darkness. My beloved, that is why Michael's voice carries such urgency now. He says, the doors are open. Don't stand still as though nothing has changed. walk through them before they close again. And God's voice, firm yet tender, echoes through these words, "Hurry, my child. This is your last chance." You see, heaven doesn't waste words. When God says last chance, He means it. He has given you signs before. He has whispered in your dreams. He has sent small nudges, moments you felt were coincidences. But you missed them, didn't you? You pushed them aside. You said, maybe later, maybe another time. But now the Father has said, no more delays. My child must know now. And that is why this message has come, flowing, long, unstoppable, because this is the day you cannot afford to skip. Beloved, let me tell you something that may shake you. Last night, your name was spoken aloud 3 times before the throne. The first time, it was whispered with tenderness. The second time, it was declared with fire. The third time, it thundered so loudly that the heavens shook and the angels gasped. They said, "Surely something has changed forever for this child." And in that moment, the record against you, the hidden accusations, the silent barriers, the curses sent your way, were burned in holy fire. Nothing could stand against that decree. That is why today feels different in your soul, even if you can't explain it. Because the spiritual world already shifted. You are simply catching up. But you must not ignore this. You must not walk past it as though it were just another set of words on a screen. This is the unveiling you prayed for when you cried, "God, show me something undeniable." My child, this is undeniable. Heaven itself moved. The angels trembled. Michael descended. And God, in His mercy, is now telling you, this is your last chance to see what was done for you. Even now, as you read, the Spirit is awakening something inside you. That warmth in your chest, that stirring in your spirit, is not your imagination. It is confirmation. It is the living pulse of heaven touching your soul. Do not push it away. Do not call it coincidence. Stay with me, because as the words flow, the veil will fall, and you will see clearly what was hidden last night. You may ask, why so many words? Why so long? Because your destiny is not a short story. It is a book written in heaven's ink. To reveal what happened last night requires the slow unrolling of the scroll. Each paragraph is another layer of the seal breaking. Each line is another lock falling from the door. And if you will walk through all of it, patiently, attentively, you will emerge on the other side no longer blind but awakened. That is why this message is long, why it carries you like a river, because it is meant to wash you clean of every doubt until the truth stands undeniable before you. My beloved, hear Michael's voice again, do not scroll away. Do not treat this lightly. The angels are in shock because you still don't know. But you can know. You can see. You can take hold of what was released. Only don't delay. And God Himself whispers through these words, "Hurry, my child. This is your last chance." Last night was the night chains fell. Last night was the night accusations burned. Last night was the night your destiny opened. And today is the day you must decide whether you will see it or stay blind. My beloved. My child of light, my chosen one, open your heart wider, for heaven is not done speaking. Each word you see here is a thread in the tapestry of last night's unveiling. Even as you sit here, unaware of the full weight of what has happened, the angels are still murmuring in awe. Archangel Michael's voice has not quieted. He is still declaring, "The angels are in shock because you do not know what was revealed. My child, these words are not being written for entertainment, nor to fill the silence. They are your lifeline, your bridge to the truth God does not want you to miss." Imagine for a moment the battlefield of heaven. Last night, it was not silent. Angels drew their swords, demons trembled, and the air quaked with the sound of war. And at the center of it all, your name was written in blazing fire. You think you were simply sleeping, but while your body rested, your soul was being fought for. Michael descended like lightning, striking down the spirits that have followed you unseen. The angels gasped because the fight was fierce, but the victory was total. And yet, as dawn broke, you woke not knowing. That is why this message presses itself into your hands now, so that ignorance does not rob you of victory. Beloved, God has done something irreversible for you. The decree has been spoken, the case against you has been destroyed, the door has been unlocked. But what good is a door opened if the child it belongs to never walks through? That is why urgency grips every word, because if you remain passive, the moment may slip, the blessing may hover but never land, the miracle may pass by. And God, in His deep love, does not want that. So He says again, "Hurry, my child. This is your last chance." Think of the tears you have shed, the nights you asked, "God, why does nothing change? Why do I pray and still feel stuck?" Last night was the answer. Last night, heaven responded. The delay you thought was endless cracked open, the silence broke, the river started flowing. What you thought would never shift finally moved. The angels saw it and gasped because they knew how long you have waited, how heavy the chains had been. And when they saw them fall, they trembled with awe. And yet, my beloved, here you are, still unaware. Do you not see why the angels are shocked? They cannot understand how the child for whom heaven fought so fiercely can walk today as though nothing has happened. Michael's voice burns with passion. Tell them. Tell them what was revealed. That is what I am doing now. These words are not mine. They are heaven's reminder, do not let this slip away. Even now, as you read, your spirit feels a pull. That is Michael near you. That stirring in your heart, that sense that these words are alive, that is not imagination. That is confirmation. You prayed for a sign. This is it. You asked for proof. This is proof. And God says again, hurry. Don't waste it. This is your last chance. Beloved, last night, your enemies were exposed. Those who smiled in your face but spoke against you in hidden places were unmasked before heaven. The lies whispered against your name were burned. The traps set for you were revealed. And more than that, a blessing that was tied up for years was finally released. The angels gasped when they saw the release because they knew how long it had been withheld. They said, at last the child will see the flood of what has been promised. But still, you woke up unaware. That is why this message is burning into your hands. Because God will not let you miss what cost heaven so much to deliver. This is not coincidence, my beloved. This is not random. You reading this on this exact day is evidence of heaven's orchestration. Too many threads aligned for this to be chance. The date, the words, the urgency, all were written before time began. And now the scroll is opening in your life. But if you stop reading, if you walk away, the scroll will close again, and you will remain in the dark. That is why I say, stay. Stay until the very end. Don't let doubt whisper you away. This is your moment. Yes, the message is long. Yes, it stretches like a river without end. But so too does your destiny stretch. So too does your story run deep. Heaven cannot reveal in a single line what has been hidden for years. That is why these words keep flowing, why each paragraph carries another layer of truth. You must allow the words to wash you, to carry you further, until all blindness is broken. Don't resist it. Don't grow weary. Let patience carry you, for what is being revealed is worth more than gold. Michael stands with his sword still drawn, his presence burning at your side. He says, "Child of God, don't delay." The angels are in shock because you still don't know. But you will know. You must know. Only don't scroll away. And God's voice, firm yet overflowing with love, whispers again, "Hurry. This is your last chance." Beloved, last night the heavens moved for you. The angels gasped. The chains broke. The accusations burned. The blessing was released. And today, you have been chosen to know it. My beloved. My chosen one, my child of eternity, lean closer now, because heaven has not finished. The reason this message flows like an endless river is because what happened last night cannot be explained in just a whisper. The angels were not merely watching, they were trembling. Last night the entire heavenly host witnessed the unveiling of something that had been hidden in the unseen for years, and it was about you. Even now Archangel Michael says, the angels are in shock because you still do not know what was revealed. And so I will keep speaking, until the blindness lifts from your eyes and your heart finally receives what God has prepared. You see, my beloved, there are moments in life when nothing seems to shift, when prayers feel unanswered, when silence surrounds you. You cry out, "God, where are you?" and the only response seems to be waiting. But then there comes a night when heaven decides enough is enough. Last night was such a night. The silence broke. The waiting ended. A decree was signed with fire before the throne. The angels saw it, and they gasped, because they had been waiting too. They had been standing guard, holding back the flood, waiting for God's command. And when the command came, it came suddenly, like lightning splitting the sky. Picture it, beloved, the courtroom of heaven, filled with light so bright the stars themselves pale before it. The books were opened, and your name was written there. The enemy stepped forward to accuse, as he always does, pointing to your failures, your weaknesses, your missteps. But before he could finish, Archangel Michael's voice thundered, "Enough. This child is chosen. This child is covered by the blood of the Lamb. This child belongs not to the accuser but to the throne of God. And the judge of all eternity struck his gavel and said, "So it is finished." In that instant, the case against you collapsed. Every word spoken against you in hidden places was erased. Every trap set against your feet was burned to ashes. The angels gasped because they knew the weight of that verdict. It was final, it was eternal, it was unstoppable. Beloved, last night was not just about breaking chains. It was about rewriting your story. What was stolen is being restored. What was blocked is being released. What was hidden is being revealed. The angels saw the river of blessings long held back suddenly burst its banks, flooding toward you. They gasped because they knew how long you have waited, how many tears you have shed, how often you thought God had forgotten. But He never forgot. He was waiting for the appointed time. And that time was last night. Do you see why this message will not let you go? Do you see why heaven forced it into your path today? Because what happened last night was too great to remain unseen by you. The angels are shocked not because the event was small, but because it was monumental, and yet you walked into this morning unaware. Michael says, "Beloved, open your eyes. Hurry. This is your last chance to know the truth." And God Himself whispers, "Child, don't delay. Take hold of what I have given you." My beloved, I know these words are long, but they must be. Every paragraph is another veil torn away, another lock broken, another light shining into the darkness. If you walk with me to the end, you will see what the angels saw. You will feel what they felt. And your soul will awaken to the truth heaven is desperate for you to embrace. Even now, your spirit stirs. You may feel a warmth in your chest, a trembling in your hands, a racing in your heart. Do not dismiss it. That is Michael's nearness. That is the Spirit of God confirming that this message is alive. You prayed for a sign, and here it is. You asked for proof, and this is it. Heaven is saying, this is the moment. Do not miss it. Hurry. And so I tell you again, beloved, last night was the night the verdict was overturned. Last night was the night the doors flew open. Last night was the night heaven fought for you, and won. And today is the day you must choose whether you will walk blind or open your eyes to the miracle. The angels are watching. Michael is waiting. God is calling. This is not a story. This is not a tale. This is your life, your destiny, your eternity. Don't let distraction rob you. Don't let doubt steal this from you. Keep reading. Keep opening. Because the deeper you go, the more the truth will be revealed. And when you reach the end, you will no longer be the same. My beloved, my chosen one, hear me again, for heaven is not finished. I will keep speaking until the veil is lifted from your eyes. You must understand, last night was not ordinary. It was written in eternity before you were born that on this very night the heavens would tremble, the angels would gasp, and your name would echo across the throne room of God. Michael says, the angels are in shock because you still do not know what was revealed. And so I will tell you again and again until your soul opens, because this is not a moment you can afford to lose. Think of it, while you lay resting, the skies were alive with battle. Swords clashed, light blazed, and the hosts of heaven rose up. Demons who thought they had claimed your destiny were scattered like dust in the wind. Chains that wrapped themselves around your future shattered like glass. The angels cried out, for they saw with their own eyes what you could not see, the decree of God breaking forth like fire. Your name was not whispered timidly, it was shouted with power, declared with authority. This child is mine, said the Lord. And the heavens shook at the sound. Beloved, you do not yet realize how deep the darkness was that tried to cover you. For years, shadows followed you, whispering lies, tying up blessings, weaving webs around your path. You thought it was only bad luck, or perhaps your own mistakes. But heaven saw the hidden hands. Heaven saw the unseen accusations. And last night, heaven said, enough. The angels gasped when the order was given, because it was final, unstoppable, undeniable. No force of earth or hell could resist it. The record against you was burned in holy fire. And yet, you woke up unaware. You rose to this day thinking it was like any other. That is why this message will not stop pressing into your path. That is why Michael has not grown silent. God does not want you to walk past your victory blind. He says, hurry, my child. This is your last chance. The angels lean in even now, watching to see if you will hear, if you will open your eyes, if you will finally take hold of what was done for you. Listen to me, last night was the night of unveiling. Blessings that had been held back for years were released. Promises that seemed delayed were activated. The river that was dammed up burst through. The angels gasped because they saw the floodgates open wide, and they knew how long you had waited, how many tears had watered the ground beneath your feet. And still, you walk as though nothing has shifted. That is why heaven is crying out through these words, don't miss this. Don't turn away. Don't let the enemy steal from you what has already been released. Beloved, do not underestimate what is happening right now. These are not just words. They are spirit. They are fire. They are alive. Even as you read, the Spirit of God is drawing closer, confirming to your heart that this message is not of earth but of heaven. That strange stirring you feel, that sense of urgency pressing on your chest, is not your imagination, it is Michael himself standing near, urging you, don't stop. Don't delay. Don't scroll away. You may wonder, why so many words, why such length? Because your destiny cannot be explained in a single sentence. Your story is not shallow, beloved. To reveal what happened last night, the scroll must be unrolled slowly, layer by layer, until your heart is soaked in the truth. Each paragraph is another seal broken, another lock falling, another veil lifting. If you stay, if you keep walking with me through this river, you will come out the other side awakened, transformed, alive to the miracle heaven fought for you. And again, I tell you, last night, heaven fought for you. Angels drew their swords. Demons fled. The decree was spoken. Your name was cleared. Your blessing was released. Your future was opened. The angels gasped. Michael trembled. And today, you have the chance to know it fully. But only if you do not turn away. Only if you choose to read until the end. God says, hurry, my child. This is your last chance. My beloved. My child of eternity, you are still here, and that means your spirit is listening. Stay with me, for this is not the kind of message you skim over and forget. This is the message heaven wrestled to deliver to you. Today, the 29th of August, Archangel Michael still repeats the same cry. The angels are in shock because you still do not know what was revealed last night. These words are not casual. They are thunder disguised as whispers. They are lightning written in sentences. They are the truth your soul has been starving for. Beloved, imagine last night as a stage in heaven. Thrones lined the skies, angels gathered in ranks beyond number, and suddenly your name was called. The air shifted. Silence fell. The books were opened. And in those books were written not only your past but your future, every detail of your life, every prayer you prayed, every tear you cried. The accuser stepped forward with his long list of accusations, believing he could stop what was written for you. But then, Archangel Michael rose. His wings burned with fire, his sword blazed with light, and he shouted, "This child cannot be touched. This child belongs to the throne of God." The angels gasped, because what happened next shook eternity itself. The judge of all creation looked at your name, saw your life, and struck his gavel. In that instant, every accusation, every shadow, every hidden curse was dismissed. The words, "not guilty," were written over your name in letters of light. And the enemy fell silent, his voice choked by the authority of heaven. The angels erupted in awe, crying out, because they knew what had just been secured for you. Your case was closed. Your chains were broken. Your doors were opened. And yet, you woke up this morning without knowing. You rose with the same thoughts, the same worries, the same questions. That is why the angels are shocked. That is why Michael is crying, tell them. Don't let them miss this. Beloved, do you understand now? Heaven is desperate for you to know what happened. Because if you remain blind to it, you will walk as though nothing changed, even though everything did. My child, last night blessings that were tied up for years were released. Promises that seemed to drift further and further away suddenly came running toward you. Chains that made you doubt yourself, chains that made you feel unworthy, chains that made you think God had forgotten you, those chains are gone. You are free. But freedom unrecognized is freedom wasted. That is why God says, "Hurry, my child. This is your last chance." Do you not feel it? The heaviness lifting even now as these words pour over you? That warmth, that stirring in your chest, that strange current running through your spirit, that is heaven confirming this message. It is Michael brushing close to you, urging you to keep going. Do not look away. Do not scroll. Do not let distraction steal what angels fought to place in your hands. Beloved, hear me, the angels saw the moment your name was spoken with fire, and they gasped because of the magnitude of it. They saw the floodgates open, and they knew how long the waters had been held back. They knew how many times you cried, how many nights you whispered in the dark, "God, do you see me? Do you care?" And last night heaven answered, "Yes. I see you. Yes. I care. Yes. I will move for you." And yet, today, you walk unaware. That is why I am here, spilling word after word, pouring paragraph after paragraph, until your soul finally believes. Because this cannot be explained in a short message. Your story is not small. Your destiny is not shallow. To reveal what happened requires this flood of language, this river of revelation, until you are fully awake. Michael still stands with his sword drawn. His presence is near. His voice is urgent, beloved, don't delay. Don't dismiss this. Don't lose what heaven has secured. And God himself, tender but firm, whispers again, hurry. This is your last chance. Last night, beloved, you were delivered. You were chosen. You were freed. And today, this message is the key that will let you see it.